Well, hello and welcome to Conscious Gatherers. Today's date is it's actually the 10th. So we're doing this podcast today late. The year is 2024. So Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
Yes, my name is Beverly Thompson.
And I am A.J. Royce.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to this fabulous new year. I'm calling it fabulous because I think the outcome of what's happening right now is going to be fabulous. Just hold on. Things are, things are changing. And so we've got some interesting insights to share with you tonight. Well, it's tonight when we're doing this podcast. So, a lot of things going on. And this is our episode 111. And we're starting season 5. And so in our last podcast, we were talking about 111 and 101, and I continue seeing these numbers. And realized that our last episode was 110, and today's episode is 111.
And when you add up the digits of today's date, it adds up to 11. So it makes it very interesting, too.
It does. And to me, the ones represent new beginnings.
Yeah, especially the triplicate 111. That's a new beginning.
Mm-hmm. So here we are, episode 111. So maybe that's why we're going to share this information, and hopefully it makes sense to you all. I'm not sure how deep we're going to go, but we could go pretty deep on this. But we were just discussing, okay, how deep do we go?
Yeah.
But we're going to first share what has been told to us, and go from there and see what comes through.
Yeah.
You ready to go?
Ready.
All right. Just to discuss what we're going to talk to you about is that we have existed on a planet of duality, and we're seeing that duality stretched right now. However, people are saying enough's enough, and so there's so many factions coming together right now, and that's we the people. And I'm talking worldwide, not just the United States where we're at, but worldwide. And a lot of people are saying, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. And so the controlling factions are leaving, or they're pushing to whatever they can cause chaos in the world. However, I don't see it working much longer. So you have any comment on that?
No, it's just when a thing is over, it's over. But the thing that was pushing to stay alive has having a hard time dying.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A good way to put it. All right, are you ready to get into it?
Sure.
All right. I received a couple of insights yesterday and today, and I'm going to share those with you. And Royce, please step in anytime you want.
Okay.
So give me just start talking or give me a hand signal.
Okay.
So as we are here physically together to bring this podcast to you. So we thank you all for listening too, by the way, and we really appreciate it because, as we've told you many times, it means a lot to us to share with all of you.
Oh, and it does.
Yeah. Through the years, I have grown to appreciate humanity in whatever way we're trying to figure out how to say this. Just all the ins and outs of humanity. And, I used to be in my ego quite a bit, and now I'm seeing the world so much differently now. And it's really nice, and because I just have a love for everything.
Yeah, life is quite an intricate, wonderful thing, and it's hard not to have an appreciation for it.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. All right. All right. Well, I kept hearing, this is last night, I kept hearing the abyss and the crossing. And so I finally thought, okay, I'll write it down. And so I did. And this is what came forth. too many times have we heard it is about over. I'll figure out what it is. Okay, continue what I heard. And what determines the outcome? So, what determines the outcome? It's about over, but what's the outcome? Who determines it? Many people have been so transfixed on world issues, uncomfortable issues, what we call, and this one's talking to me, is the wandering abyss. Interesting words again, the wandering abyss. And so I peeped in and said, well, we want to shut down the deep state on their nefarious activities. And here's what I heard next. Humans come to life. Like, okay. It was like really strong, come to life. And I'm thinking,
Like wake up and smell the coffee.
Yeah, and then some. Start living your dreams. There are a lot of buts. But. The whole deep state regime is coming down, falling into the abyss. With this happening, turn your attention to what serves you. Again, what serves you may not serve another. Is it a lack of money that is stopping you? Yeah, that's been pretty common, right? Well, if only I had this, I could do this and this and this. And so we have that energetic block that we put out there. And it's really, I have to admit, it's tough to get through that block because we've lived that scarcity intelligence for so long.
Yeah.
All right, continue with what I was given, information I was given. You soon will be bypassing these blocks you have so diligently placed in front of you. The more blocks, as in the scarcity of money for many of you, or scarcity in itself. So the more blocks you remove, the easier it will be to enter into your manifested dream land. This is the time to gear up. Wars will continue to play out and then falter into oblivion. Allow another to live their own dream as long as you do not tread on their beliefs. Always respect another's life. To take another's life will soon be abhorrent to all. More assistance will be put into place to assist those who are living in abject poverty or living conditions. Use your bravery or brevity, dear ones. The tide will soon turn, even though right now it doesn't appear as so. Remember your creed when moving into this perceived reality. The world will rebel, which is happening now. All will be exposed, which is happening now. And then move on into the dream reality of exceptional living.
Hear, hear. I like that.
Yeah, exceptional living. I mean, it's going to mean something different for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all going to be doing this together. So to me, it's like, wow. It's just, to me, it's very, very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was talking with Bev about, sometimes, the old paradigm of that system of lack, it becomes a way of life, and that's just, it kind of consumes your thoughts, and it definitely dictates your future, because we create our future with our thoughts. Mm-hmm. So it becomes this vicious cycle. So it's a wonderful thing to know that there's a way out of that. We just have to realize the limitlessness of who and what we are and put that to use to create something a whole lot better than what we've been creating thus far.
It's happening.
Yes, it is.
It's really happening. All right, I'm going to continue.
Yes.
Okay, and then today my insight was, I get the title beforehand most of the time, and so I did get a title, and it says, Wake Up to the Crossing. So that word crossing comes up over and over and over again. So it's explained into a little bit of what's in here. Okay, here's what I was given. It's happening, and as you cross, the bridge behind you fades into nothingness. There is a meeting of the mind, so to speak, and a conclave, which is going on today. And Royce is going to explain some of that today because she got that information on conclave. And what is that? A meeting of what I heard of multi-nations, meaning international, interplanetary agreements were being made. So when you hear international, that's nations, not only on this earth, but beyond this earth.
Yeah.
So, we all play a part, and do remember your involvement is there too. We're all in this together. So, and I was asking, okay, if I'm involved in some of this other things, how am I? It's like, how do I look into that basically? And sometimes I'll see it, and sometimes not. And but I know, I may be doing something else. I'm going to speak for myself here, but Royce, I think you can speak more on that because it seems like it happens to you quite a bit. You can be, realize that you're in more than one place at the same time.
Yeah. But
they were saying if you knew all the things that you were doing, basically, it would take your focus away from this earth experience. So, yeah, you're right, because then you would concentrate on that. Because we're here in these bodies, it's really for us to concentrate on our bodies in this what we call this realm.
Yeah, if you're not here, you can't get anything done here.
Yeah.
So we're here for with a purpose at this particular time on this planet. So we have to be here in body, mind, and spirit in order to get it done.
Exactly. Even though we're getting bleed-throughs of other timelines and lives and that sort of thing, which continues. I think we talked about 2 weeks ago, we talked about merging timelines.
Yeah.
We have been talking about them for quite a while. The other thing I did hear, though, excuse me, is the serpent is swallowing its tail and will soon consume itself. And I asked, out of existence? And the answer was yes. So, yay. And see the negativity, and this will be more explained by Roy. So I'd love for you to share some more on this.
Yeah, before we go there, wasn't it like 4 weeks ago that I talked about a vision that I had? I don't know if it was given over the air or not. But anyway, during meditation, I saw it quite plainly where I was in this place, and it was like a room that looked like it was straight out of Alice in Wonderland. And I looked over to I saw a chessboard on the floor and these different things that were playing the parts as the pawns and stuff. And I looked over to the right, and there was a white staircase, very beautiful staircase, spiral, and I looked at it more closely because it was just so striking. And then all of a sudden I saw what it was really made out of, and it was a serpent. And it was very beautiful to look at, but its intentions were quite the opposite of beauty. So, when you talked about the serpent had its tail in its mouth and it was swallowing itself, so undoing itself. And that was the last thing that I saw was that room imploding,
Just
so,
Lord, yeah.
Yeah. So I found that quite interesting. And there was a line in what you just read, and it was about the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Could you go into explaining what that looked like? Because you told me, and it was quite interesting.
Yeah, as I was envisioning this bridge and seeing the abyss, so like a valley, like a valley between two mountain peaks or whatever, and I could see this bridge arching over the crevice, the abyss is what it was, called. And as I was walking across the bridge, I noticed behind me the bridge was literally disappearing. In other words, you can't go back, and you're going into that higher dimensional living, if you want to call it that, higher frequency, higher consciousness, whatever terms you want to use, to understand ourselves more fully, wholly, and that's with a H and with a HOLY and a WHOLY or LLY. So, it was interesting, and for myself, I could see I was not to the other side, but I was approaching close to the other side, and the bridge was just gone, just disintegrates. So it was an interesting vision, and each of you I think it's easy to envision for yourselves as you cross this bridge. You look back and shoot, the bridge is not, you can't go back.
But, applying that to the ascension process, when you raise in vibration, what you are seeing and experiencing is more inclusive of what there really is. And
a call did come in, and it said call waiting, so I tried to disable that. It wasn't working. So anyway, obviously pretty technically challenged since I'm using a kind of an old-time device here. But anyway, if there was a silence, we really can't tell. So we didn't want to miss anything, so we waited for that to be done, the call waiting being done. All right, please continue.
So when you're experiencing something more inclusive, more whole, it's quite a bit different from what you just came from. So if you were to look backward, you wouldn't be able to see what was there because it wouldn't apply any longer. So that's what I had to say about that.
Well, thank you. Well, it makes total sense, and that's what's happening. Doesn't apply anymore. And I think mention about taking another other person's life would be abhorrent to everyone. So it means no war, no this, no that, that is going to be gone in the higher states of consciousness, higher beingness, or whatever words you want to use.
Yeah.
And that goes right into what you received.
Yes. The insight that I got was, first of all, the word conclave, and then the numbers 99. And I was questioning 99. You've chosen which side has dominated the outcome, the foundation for the new earth. The two sides of the duality completed themselves on an equal basis, for they were two of what was once one. From here on out, the dominance of one side over another has no relevance for where you are now. The new earth is not the old earth remade. It is new, a new venture. We, as all who are gathered to usher in the new, are quite anxious to see how you settle into your new placement. We say placement as a reference to a new being in a new world, for your new earth is to be inhabited by new beings of light. It is you, the new beings of light, who are to realize a new day in a glorious new way. Yes, rejoice. So I find that to be really exciting.
Oh, so do I. You said new creation, new being, new world, new earth.
Yeah.
All the above.
So we are raising in vibration to be these wonderful beings who are capable of holding more and more light until eventually we will be realized as nothing but light.
Exactly. Well, you were sharing some things a few days ago with me. Or did you want to get into that or not?
You're talking about the dot stuff?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is just in the middle of the day an insight came to me, and so I quickly shot it to Bev in a telegram. And this is what it said. While we inhabit a flesh and blood body, we cannot truly say that we know anything or everything. This is because of who we are as co-creators in the midst of ascending to the fullness of our abilities as true shining ones who need no external device to maintain the light being exuded through us and from us. It is because our DNA carries the ... The ... means that our DNA is not a closed system. It is an open system that is very specific in design. This is something that cannot be undone, for the ... is conscious and internally driven. Therefore, our birthright of light will never stop evolving, for it will be eternally in the process of realizing itself as more than what it was before. So this train has left the station, and it ain't coming back. Our trajectory has been set, and we are moving.
It's all in our. It's part of our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you have more there. I'm going to insert this because I feel that our DNA is made up of quite a few different types of beings, people. I call them beings because it's, we don't see them. Some of them look like us, some don't. But from my understandings, is that our human is so, I'm going to call it extravagant. It's not. Maybe that's not quite the word. Incredible. From the words that you just used there about what the ... means, and so it's like, wow, it's what we are actually made of, and it can't be stopped.
Yes, it's our DNA, and that's the very structure of what everything that how this body, how this being evolves. It's dictated by that, our DNA. So it's an open system. That ... And what I was referencing there was like the numeric sequence that has no end, like pi. The number sequence relates to numbers. The numeric sequence relates to numbers, which relate to geometric shapes. If the numeric system has no end, then neither do the geometric shapes, which means limitlessness. That's what we are. It is programmed into us. So to think that we are a species that cannot do any better, think again.
Good way to put it. Was that I got at, excuse me, come to life.
Yes.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like,
okay.
Wake up.
Yeah, wake up. Well, what Royce was just telling you, too, is in one of my books, this is in my first book, Mystery of the Universes, and I actually was looking up things on Elohim, because that's been a
hot topic.
A hot topic, thank you. Very hot topic in the last week or two, and what it's been shared out in the podcast arena. The Elohim basically haven't been put in a higher state of beingness, or beings that are called the Elohim. And I wasn't quite. Am I making sense?
Keep going.
Okay. And I wasn't quite getting that, and so I thought, I'm going to look this up, because when I wrote my books, I know I've said this before, I'm saying it again, I'm definitely not a Bible scholar whatsoever. And so even some of these names, Elohim and Nephilim and all of those, I didn't even know what that meant. This is when I was writing the books. Obviously, I've learned a lot since then. But, I didn't know who was supposedly good, who were the bad, and those words that we have used. And so I just, back then, especially in the first book, I was basically taking dictation from another part of me, which at the time I didn't even realize that. So along with Sananda helping me out. So anyway, so when I got this information, I just took that dictation, and then not really understanding it all, but I tell you what, I'm understanding it more and more and more. But those of you that have the books, but there's the writing called Book of Jerusalem. It gets in there pretty deep about our DNA, and we're not going to go there tonight. Because I asked Royce, I said, do you think we ought to go there? And she goes,
It gets a little deep.
It gets a little deep. It gets a little bit heady, so to speak. So, but I'm just going to share this part of the writing. It says, I talked about time capsules. And I thought, well, that's kind of an interesting use of words, time capsules. And at the time I was getting this, or not soon after that, I was hearing other people say the same words. I thought, oh, wow. Because at first when you get this stuff, it's like, does this make any sense? And I can't say it again. It made that much sense at the time, but it does now. Mm-hmm. All right, going back to the time capsule, what I was told. Each capsule represents a turning of the cosmos into an ordered mass of intelligence and co-creation. The co-creative process is then introduced into this matrix to combine the attributes of the Elohim and the Nephilim into a confined order. To me, that goes along with what we've been talking about, the 9-9, the duality. Mm-hmm. Okay. As each capsule releases its own energies or attributes, then an added creation comes to the forefront to be acknowledged and experienced. All creation works in this manner for the grand process of mind creation of the Godhead of eternal order. And you even mentioned that word eternal as part of our DNA. So that's part of the eternal order that's built within us, the God within. So that's basically what I wanted to share on that, because I can go in deeper, but this time we'll do that another time. And those of you that want to read more about it and help explain all this, hey, we welcome you. Because it's like, whoa. All right. You have a little bit more to share there, don't you?
Not this part, no.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a lot to think about. Again, this is 111, episode 111, and tomorrow's the 1/11/2024, as you said, that comes out to number 11.
No, today is 11.
What's
the 10th.
10th.
Mm-hmm. The 10th is.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
sorry.
When you add the digits, 1 for January and 10 for the 10th,
okay,
and 2024 2024. Those digits added together, it's 11.
So today.
So these 11 and 111 digits are all converging.
So think of the new Earth as you were told today. It starts, and some of you may feel that. And, a lot of us have been feeling that something really big is going to happen, and then what does that look like? And some of it think it's the overthrow of a government or this or that, but I was thinking it's bigger than that.
Yeah. With that conclave that's going on, I did see quite a banquet that was being set up, and it was quite exquisite. Everything done to the nines. Oh, that was funny how that came out. Oh, yeah.
That was not planned.
No, it wasn't.
So, we wish you all an absolutely wonderful new year as it unfolds.
Yeah.
And understanding that, are we living yet? And this but, get rid of all these buts. It's interesting that there's a BUT and a BUTT, right?
A little humor there.
I had to throw that out. So anyway, yeah, just a lot that's going on, but I think just a wonderful thing is right there for us, because we're creating all of this, and it's for us to say, if enough is enough, because we're doing that,
yes,
and we are rebelling, like, nope, I'm not complying with whatever that may be.
Because we're waking up to who and what we are.
Yeah, we're so much greater. We can do this.
Yes.
And we are doing it. So think of life that way, and your life is going to start changing drastically.
Yes.
So
realize that limitlessness within you.
All right. Well, thank you again, and I'll be back in 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks now. So, just a phenomenal time. And if you want to, each of you listening to this, want to write some notes down for yourself, do so. And those notes may change, and that's okay, because as we're creating our world, experiences, and taking some of our previous experiences and some of the ones that we're leaving behind, as that bridge is disintegrating as you walk across the bridge.
Yeah.
All right. You have some last words?
Yes, I just want to say again what I say quite often, and that is thank you so very much for the work that you've been doing. Thank you for staying on this planet to help to usher in a new Earth.
Thank you. All right. Blessings to you all, and good day.
Good night.